Hey, just kidding. It's not really Jason. It's me, the Gamer Ghoul, and the BloodyBlu Gaming Oubliette. Today we're going to party, drink some beers, maybe find some ladies, and talk about Friday the 13th, the game. So I'm a huge fan of the Friday the 13th series, but I was not a huge fan of this game being a multiplayer-only game. It's an asymmetrical multiplayer game, and it only has one mode at the moment, and I was immediately turned off by that. I was excited whenever I found out they were coming out with a physical copy, because I am a sucker for that, and I love anything Friday the 13th, so I did pick it up, but very hesitantly. I was very worried about this game having legs, because in the long run, if you don't have a single player, this game could, people could stop playing it in a few months, and your game's worthless at that point. So I was a little worried about that, but there is the promise of a single player, and if that does come to be, I will review that as well. But today, we're just going to review the multiplayer portion of the game, because that's all there is. If you can find a game, which isn't always the easiest thing to do, unfortunately, you're either going to play as Jason Voorhees himself or a camp counselor. Now, playing as Jason is incredible. It's every horror fan's dream. It feels exactly like it should. The various Jasons have different shifting, teleporting, stalking abilities, and at first I was a little weirded out by the teleporting thing, but you quickly get used to it, and it seems less odd than it actually sounds. The environmental kills are also a really nice touch. There's some really fun and creative and completely whacked out ways to kill people that you wouldn't expect. Playing as a camp counselor, you either have to survive the night, you have to repair a car, repair a boat, call the police, or you can summon Tommy Jarvis to help out with the whole fray and actually try to kill him, but that doesn't always go so well. So there's various things you can do as a counselor to survive, but it's a lot more fun being Jason, and unfortunately that's where this game really shines, and you don't get a whole lot of that. But when you play as Jason, it is very satisfying and brutal, and there's so many ways to kill people and plenty of unlockables. So when a match goes well, it's a really satisfying experience. Whenever you escape and you hear that escape music and it's like you survived the night, it's incredible. You feel like you really did something. Or when you're Jason and you've slaughtered all the teenagers, but maybe the one girl got away. Stuff like that. It makes it feel like an actual horror movie, and it's great. Unfortunately, the game's met with too many shortcomings, and there's too many times where the game's either crashed on me, somebody's left a game and everything's shut down, or the point where it was so glitchy that I couldn't even see what was going on and everything was acting all haywire. And man, the glitches in this game are so bad. There are so many problems with this game that I really hope get resolved. The collision detection's all off. The facial expressions are super bizarre, to the point where it's actually funny. But there's just a lot of things like that this game really needs some polishing on. So this game has a lot to love, but it also has a lot more to dislike about it. The game's really light on content, and I understand that this is a Kickstarter game, and they are throwing stuff at it, free updates, and they're adding modes. I know there's a new paranoia mode coming, and supposedly the single player's on the way, which I'm extremely excited about. But right now, I can't see myself picking it up after maybe another couple weeks of playing it, because honestly, there's not enough content. You can unlock new Jasons, you can unlock new kills, you can unlock clothing for your characters, and it is cool. Unlocking new counselors is satisfying. They all play a little differently, and they all have strengths and weaknesses. So there are things about it that, extend your life out a little longer, but honestly, there's not that much there in this game right now. It honestly feels like a beta. This is one of the glitchiest games I've ever played. One time when I was playing it, the weirdest thing happened. A guy tried to get in the car and the animation got all stuck, and then he was just floating around the map like he was in a car, but he totally wasn't, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I'm going to have to show you that clip right now because words cannot describe how hilarious this is. If you were to ask me right now, would you pay $40 for this game again? I would probably say no. I had a lot of great times with it, and I'm looking forward to playing it more, but overall, there's just not enough content. There's some fun gameplay, and there's some fun, intense matches that I had that were incredibly memorable, and I will pick this game up from time to time, but overall, it's more worth in the $20, $25 range. So I would have to give this game a 5 out of 10 on the BloodyBlu gaming scale. Unfortunately, Friday the 13th should be one of my favorite games of the year, but it's just not quite there yet. Hopefully, in another 6 months or so, this game's going to be incredible, and I will be playing it non-stop. And what I really want is a single-player mode where you play as Jason the entire time, because I really just want to kill teenagers. That's why I got this game. There's a lot of great additional info about this game that I didn't get a chance to cover in this video review. Make sure you check out my accompanying article in the BloodyBlu gaming tab on the website. Alright, we're done here. Let's go do some drugs and find some chicks. Where's that music coming from? What's going on? Oh, sorry. 6 out of 10.